Good morning and happy Thursday. Sorry, I'm a little bit later today. Decided to get up and get rolling, and now it's time to make breakfast and do all that stuff. So, one of Tony's phrases that I love is that every communication that you receive from somebody is either a gift of love or a cry for help. You got to think about that one for a while because there's a lot of times where communications that you receive from other people aren't all that great. Now, can a gift from love be a slap in the face? Absolutely. Sometimes the best communications that you receive or, the best friends are the ones that tell you the truth and say, look, this is how this appears. This is how this looks. This is what you're doing. A lot of times it's the people that aren't necessarily your best friends that don't tell you, hey, you're messing up, or what are you doing right now, or who's this person that you're with, or why are you trying this particular outcome? Because it's not a great idea. So sometimes the gift of love is actually the slap in the face or the bucket of cold water. My coach, who I've worked with for years and years and years, he pulls zero punches with me, and I know that everything that he does comes as a gift of love and how much he cares about me, but he cares about me by slapping me in the face and slapping me around and saying, hey, why are you doing this? So every communication is either a gift of love or a cry for help. So let's think about the second one. How many times have you been in a situation where somebody has responded aggressively, hostilely, and it's made absolutely no sense? It's easy to get wrapped up in those moments. It's easy to get where there's an adrenaline type response, where there's a reaction, where there's a visceral reaction. And I would encourage you to stop and think about and ask yourself the question, why is the person responding this way? Why is this person responding in this fashion? What is it that is causing that to happen? Because almost 99.9% of the time, it's not whom they're responding to that's causing that reaction. So if you are witnessing, a person explode at somebody else for really no real reason, then ask yourself, what's going on that they're doing this? If they're exploding at you, you can ask the question, why is this person exploding at me? Because as I said, 9 times out of 10, it actually has absolutely nothing to do with you. It's going to have a whole bunch to do with something else. Something else is going on in their life. I remember I was involved in a sporting event, and it was a kids' sporting event, and a coach on the other side of that sporting event lost their cookies. I mean, just went bananas on a particular situation. Now, these are fifth graders, playing a sporting event. So it's like, okay, I understand you get excited with your kid playing sports, but come on, what's that all about? And, the game had to be stopped and the person had to be, disciplined in a way. The refs had, or the umpires had, because it was a baseball thing, the umpires had to, tell them, you got to go stand on the other side. Well, then a couple of months later, I walk into the courtroom, so now this is public record, so I can say this. I walk into the courtroom, and the same person is there, and they're going through a divorce. Well, do you think that response at that baseball game had anything to do with the baseball game? No, absolutely not. It had everything to do with this person was now going through a divorce. So what was that response? That was a cry for help. So the responses are either a gift of love or a cry for help. And in that particular situation, the response was absolutely a cry for help. And by the way, whatever kinks there are in the armor of your personality, coach your kid in a sport, and those kinks are going to come out. You will find out whatever things you have that you need to go work on, whatever things you need to go deal with in therapy. Coach your kid in a sport, and you're going to find out, okay, those are the things that I need to go deal with in therapy because they're going to happen. So as you go through today, tomorrow, the weekend, the rest of life, when you see people give a response, ask yourself that question. Which two things is it? Is it a gift of love or is it a cry for help? Because if it's somebody that really cares about you and they're in the right place, Even though what they say may not be what you hear, it may well be a gift of love for you to think about and go, okay, I need to consider this because this person might be right. If it's a response that makes no sense whatsoever and you can't figure out how it could possibly be a gift of love, then it's a cry for help. So then the question is, what's going on in this person's life that's causing them to respond in this fashion? Because 99.9% of the time when you see somebody act irrationally, there's way more to that story and something else is going on. And when you ask yourself that question, now you're going to come from a completely different response. And what all of this does is it puts you in a situation where you're asking a better question, so your response to that situation isn't something visceral back. If that person is reacting because of something else going on in their life, you reacting in a visceral manner to them isn't going to help. All that's going to do is make the situation deteriorate even further, not going to be productive in any fashion. But if you ask the question, what else is going on in this person's life, now you're going to come to from a different approach. You're going to be like, okay, how can I help this person through this situation? And then find out, and maybe you don't even have to find out what's going on in their life, but you can at least understand, hey, this is why they responded in that way. It didn't have anything to do with this situation. And more often than not, that's what's going on. Something else is going on in their life, and then they responded and reacted here because they don't feel like they can respond and react in that other situation. So, 2 questions to ask when somebody responds in a way that you don't expect. Is it a gift of love or is it a cry for help? If it's a gift of love, what's the gift for you in this situation? If it's a cry for help, okay, what's going on in this person's life? And can I help, or can I at least understand and give them the space to have this response, knowing that this reaction has nothing to do with the situation that I'm in? Have a great day, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the beautiful Thursday if you're here in the northern Midwest. If you're down in Florida, sorry, some parts of Florida, you're going to be a little bit flooded. That happens when you're in Florida. You guys can laugh when we're 20 below in a couple of months. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. We're all in this together. Let's take care of each other.